This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, everybody. My question is today, how can we stay silent when we are going through so much pain and hurt in our life and looking at all the things that are going on around the world and asking God to bless us? And then when He blesses us, all of the different persecution coming with the blessings. How do we stay in tune? How do we keep in contact with people? How do we keep a straight face? How do we not be sad? How do we stay focused so when that blessing that we've been praying for is granted to us? The only way that we can do that is that we can stay with God and let Him lead our pathway. Because as a human being, as we looked at our history and look back over our life and the things that happened, and every step of the way when we was granted with the blessings that we prayed for, it came with all different type of persecution. People had everything to say. Persons start to come at you. And at the time when that happened, the blessings that you were blessed with, you can even enjoy it. You can even see it. You know what I mean? Sometimes even a person can't even celebrate the birth of a child because everything just keep coming up at them at once and so forth. But I just want you all to know in that time when it's happening that you pray to God and you ask Him to grant you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and to supersize your grace to take you through this season of what you're going through, and continue to thank Him for the blessings that He's about to bestow upon you so that you'll be able to receive it, because you don't need to get distracted when these things are coming and know when all of these things are crumbling. I always tell my kids, listen here, bad always come before good. When you see all the bad things happening in your life and all these different things are going on right before the good thing which you wanted to happen, and they all happening all at once, get excited, get happy, start jumping up. Surround yourself with people who are happy as well, because if you surround yourself with persons who are sad, you know, and all the sadness just coming out and so forth, that's not going to help build you up. You need persons who are going to help build you up as well so that you'll be able to get through this season of what you're going through right now and the obstacles that are in your way right now. You understand? Not everything that you going through you have to answer back, meaning have an argument with that person or go after that person and so forth. You know, I know it's easy said than done and so forth, because sometimes it comes so hard, and it could come from anywhere, especially on your job. You know, you're going through things at home, and then when you get to the job, it's something else that is going on to that job and it's distracting you and so forth. And then next thing you know, the same person that is in God now has you change. You're saying this thing, you're saying that thing, you know, you're telling them off and so on. So try to surround yourself and try to guide your mind. You understand? You have to guide this mind that is in you. Because if you don't guide your mind, man, the adversaries then will come and just crush everything from you. You know what I mean? And the things that you've been praying for, you wouldn't even want it no more. And when it's there and it's right there in the front of you, you wouldn't even be happy and joyful for it. But God wants us to be happy, and He wants us to be joyful in the things that He's blessed us with. And He wants us to be joyful here on this earth in spite of what is going on, because famine could be coming our way. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you will be in it. Okay, you could still have food in your house. Your business could still be flourishing, and everyone in your family and your friends and your country could be flourishing. It doesn't mean that what's going on behind the scenes or what's going on around the world, that it's coming here, that it's going to bother you or that it's going to bother your home. You have to just keep in God, and always remind yourself of His promise. Only God knows when this world will end. No man knows when this world will end. Only God knows when this world will end. They can say anything they want to say. I remember in 2000 itself, they said when it was the new millennium, I was living in the United States. And everybody was preparing themselves for like doomsday, like this was the last day. A lot of people were spending all of their money, having the biggest parties and so forth. And I was working one of those parties, and persons them invest all of the money, took off all the money of their bank, sell the house, give people their cars and all those other rest of stuff, because they felt as if when New Year's Day came 2000 that the world was going to end. And I remember I wasn't even with my children at the time. I was pregnant with my 5th child. And I'm there all alone. And I say, well, wow, if this is the last day here on earth and this is doomsday, I'm not even with my children. I'm not even with my family. I'm here with a bunch of strangers, working with a bunch of strangers. And why could I have worked with a bunch of strangers and not be with my family if it was the last day? Because I knew what God said. Only He alone know when that day is. Man ain't know what that day is. Man can try to do things to end that day, but they're not God. So I could have worked in comfort, and I made plenty of tip during that time because people was very, very generous with their monies and so forth. So that function, I came out with almost $1,000 in my pocket on tips, because everybody believed that that was the last day and that the world was going to end. And I remember when that day come and the fireworks start going off and so forth, I had a big smile on my face. And I was looking at everybody's reaction to see that they're still here, to see how they were going to react, and then they started, because the technology wasn't out as much as it was now, all of the phones and so forth and everything. We wasn't technology savvy as we are today. So then persons start making calls to different countries to see what happened to them and all these other rest of stuff, and they found out that they were still there and so on. And then it gave me great joy because I know heaven and earth will pass and God's word will remain the same. So today I just want you guys to be encouraged and know that God is still on the throne. He is still the God today, and He will continue to be the God of tomorrow. Nothing is going to change. Okay, just live right, do what is right. Okay, sometimes yes, we get caught up in things, but our adversaries just throw at us and so forth, and it's coming at us because of what we've been praying for. It's a part of the blessing. A part of the blessing comes with all different types of things, problems that comes your way with a part of the blessing. You're going to have to know how to navigate yourself through it. Okay? Don't get caught up in the naysayers. Don't get caught up in all the things that is going on around you. You have to stay focused. Your children are dependent on you. Your families are dependent on you. Everybody, and most of all, God is depending on you. You understand? Because He wants you to be His soldier. He wants you to be that one that know His word and stand on His word, and His word alone is the real word, and to take His word and spread His word out there amongst your fellow man. So guys, just even the things that are coming upon you right now today, and the things that may come tomorrow or next week, you take a back, you whop that down. Do not let that take the smile off your face. Do not give that an hour or a second of your time. Yes, you hear it, disregard it. Continue to walk, continue to smile, and say this too here should pass, and get on to that blessings. Because if you can't do it and you get distracted of what is going on and so forth, you know what's going to happen, man? The blessing is going to get pushed another 5-10 years in advance. And we don't want that. We just want to continue to stay encouraged and love one another and take care of yourself. Yes, take care of yourself. Guard your mind, Be careful of the things that you do. Be careful of the people who you have around you. If they are not building you up, yes, it's time to let them go. If they are not building you up, you don't need negativity, because right now negativity could just kill every single thing. You're trying to be positive, you're trying to do what is right, but then you have that negative person that will come and say all kind of things about other people. They talking about this person, they talking about that person. What you think they doing about you? They talking about you too. If you see they could come to you and just tell you, oh, this one this and this one that, and all the negative things and the hurtful and painful things that they could say about that person. And that person supposed to mean something to them. So what you think they're saying about you? So just be encouraged and know them when you see them. You know them when you see them. You know them when you hear them, and so forth. I've been with a lot of those type of persons years ago, and I cut them off from years ago. I did not let them stay in my circle. The ones who I have in my circle, they are in my circle because they are true friends. You understand? You know your true friends and you know your true family. They'll always be there. They'll be there decades. And they will always remain the same. Nothing else will happen and so forth. Why? Because your spirit can take with them and so forth. You know? But as this day continue to go forward, just continue to be happy. I know you're saying, but Judith always say, continue to be happy. How could you be happy when there's so many things going on in your life? So much persecution, so much people coming at you. Your rent need to pay, your mortgage need to pay. You don't have no gas to put in your car. Your children need food to eat and all of these different other stuff that is coming up. And you don't have the money, so you don't have a job, okay? Or your parents have died, your husband died, your wife died, your child died. I mean, I could just go off on a whole list of different things that are happening and so forth. What do you do? How could you continue to stay positive? That's when you have to go deep in God, because only Him can bring us that feeling, that love that we need to share among each other. And like I say, surround yourself with positive people, because believe it or not, this too shall pass. Hard time is not always going to last, but strong people do. Those strong people with being from a child, when things try to take you out from a child and you see that you are still here, you know who you are. You know how to survive in these type of times. You know how to maneuver, and you know how to teach your children and teach your friends and teach your loved one how to maneuver through these different times. Because guess what? It gets harder before it gets better. Remember I said, bad things come first before good. And when the good come, and you already deal with that, and you start to ask God for some more things, remember the persecution that is going to come with that. The different things that are going to happen in your life to distract you. You could be all happy and feeling so good, and something just come right there and just wipe that happiness off your face. No, don't let nothing wipe that happiness off of your face in this year. No. This year is a year with restoration, and a shift is here. And you have to shift your thinking and stay positive and know and hold on to God's word like you've never hold on to His word before. You hold on with that and you protect His word, and you go and you meditate on that word and you believe that word, because you have to believe it. Because if you don't believe it and you put doubt in there, man, come on, then you yourself put yourself to doom. But you have to believe what you're saying and believe what He's saying. Okay? You have to believe what He's saying. I just want you to take care of yourself. And know that I love you. And this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it, because guess what? We are still in it. He put us here. We are still in it. Look who all has gone. A lot of people is not here today. A lot of our loved one is not here today. And He still have us here. We've survived all of the different things that came upon us that was here on this earth. The coronavirus and all the different things that has happened before that and since that. We are still here. That means we still have a purpose. You still have a purpose. Fulfill that purpose and be happy where you are today. And know that if you see God didn't stop what was coming and what is going on in your life right now, He have you to go through it. And know that He is in there with you. You're not going through this situation by yourself. God is having you to learn from the situation, and he's growing you through the situation so that you'll be a blessing, that you can help somebody else when they're going through the situation. Okay? So like I said, let's be soldiers for God. Let's be his champions. Let's learn from what he's trying to teach us in this situation, so that when the situation is done, you're now graduated, that you are able now to be somebody else's shoulder to lean on. Okay, so now they can now lean on you as you have leaned on God. Okay, he wants us to be able to go into those places where other persons won't go into, to talk to those persons where other people, when God won't catch dead in some areas and so forth, or be too ashamed to say what they need to say because they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and so forth. This is the time for the bold people. Like I said in some time ago, this is the time for rule changes, because you have right now, this is the era where we have this generation. A lot of the old rules and regulations that didn't make any sense is now being changed into the ones that make sense for this era, because you can't take the same old things expecting to have new things done if you still have the same old things in place. So some changes has to go on. And when you see God putting you through these things, this is for the changes, this is for the new ideas to come up in your head and for you to execute those ideas and move forward with it. You know, so it's not to harm you, it's to progress you. And you all take care and have a beautiful and wonderful day.